We live in Estacada, and I think my story of the wildfires start about Tuesday morning when we woke up with no power and living on a well. We actually had no water either. And my husband and I have a dog training facility, so we have a whole kennel full of dogs with no water and no power. So it was a very shocking morning to wake up. All during the day on Tuesday, we were getting those alerts on our phone that we were in level 1. And so we were kind of just thinking we need to think about what we need to do to get ready if we had to leave.
So Wednesday morning when we woke up, I called some friends who have some connections down at Estacada First Baptist Church and just asked if I could get a hold of them and to see if they had any needs we could help support them with. When I called there, they were actually sort of in a panic and definitely like, we've been praying for this call to come because we are a Red Cross shelter and we have a whole bunch of RVs parked in our parking lot, and we're about to move into evacuation level 3, and we don't really have a place for them to go. They were just so relieved that they might potentially have a place for their RVs to go. So at that point, I called Peter Hibbs and said, is there any way we can take RVs at Good Shepherd? And he said, give me a minute.
We woke up the next morning on Wednesday, still in level 2. I went into work and Greg was down there taking care of his dogs. And then it was like noon that my phone started going off that we were now in level 3, get out now. So that was a bit of a panic. So I get in the car, run home. He's not really feeling the urgency like I was because I was looking at the sky and feeling the pressure of all the people driving around. So we got to the house and then we just started like packing up and getting ready, and I'm still looking around my house trying to figure out what to pack, and he's getting all the dogs packed up. We had a lot of dogs to pack up and food and everything for them. So we were almost ready to leave and the state patrol comes driving down our driveway. And he said to us, you need to get out right now. So that was actually terrifying because all of a sudden it was really real. Where we had been casually finishing up the packing, now we had to get out immediately. And we head out down the road, and in our rearview mirror, I'm seeing that state patrol go back to our driveway and put a spray paint a big X on the driveway, letting anybody know that we were out of there. I went to get the mail yesterday. That X is still there, and it just flooded me again what it felt like to drive away from my house, not knowing when we were going to come home, not knowing what we were going to see.
And literally, as I was pulling into the church, I get the call back from Estacada First Baptist, and they said, we hope you're ready because the RVs are on their way. So it was pretty amazing, just God's timing out and facilitating all of that and how people came together.
We drove off down the road with these 3 vehicles. We get on Eagle Creek Road, 211, driving up to Sandy. It is literally bumper to bumper. Nobody's barely moving. It looks like those hurricane videos you see in Florida where the whole highway is full of people just driving. That's what it was like on 211. It took us an hour and a half to go the 10 miles, and we were coming towards the church. So we drive off 26 onto Haley Road, and we're physically exhausted, we're emotionally exhausted, and we drive up to the church parking lot, and there are people standing on the road welcoming us with clipboards telling us where to go, what to do. There's balloons and signage on the road looping us in and encouraging us. I just can't explain how warm and welcoming that felt. It just felt like, how did they prepare all this so quickly and be ready for us? There was already campers and trailers parked in the parking lot, and Randy Paul was parking people and all those big rigs. They were letting us know that there was water available for us and dinner was going to be served at 5:30 and where to go. So we went to the end of the church parking lot, and Greg was able to exercise our dogs. And then 5:30 came, we went and enjoyed that food. There was a whole bunch of people out there serving the food. We were really hungry by then, so we were really thankful for it. I think we both had two whole meals because it was just great having the food just available and all the people that were serving us.
Throughout the next couple of days following, the church showed up in so many other ways. So we had requested a whole list of items from Clackamas Fire, and that list, we put it up on the Amazon wish list, and literally within 24 hours it had all been purchased. And we got an additional request from the fire crew that they needed headlamps. So Patty Knott went into Costco and she went and she bought 100 headlamps for Clackamas Fire and all the firefighters that were going out. Also, over 40 people have offered their homes as places for evacuees to stay or to shelter their pets, or park their vehicles at their properties. And we have provided several people with places to stay and be in shelter until they were able to get back to their homes.
I think it just bonded us to Good Shepherd in a way that we hadn't been before. We haven't really been on the end of being served like that. We were just so served. And especially in a time when we were afraid and uncertain and not knowing what the future would hold, the church, they just ministered to us. We've been processing it, Greg and I, the last few days, and it just keeps hitting us how meaningful it was that our church was there for us in all the practical ways. How overwhelmed we felt and how it just diffused it. And actually, it was almost like a party there for a while. It was like an event. There was people and food, and people were relieved that they were safe. And it just left us with a great feeling of indebtedness to our church and love for our church and our church family and all the people that it took to bring that all together. It was amazing, and it was a blessing for us.